gas station we
Mm.
it's straight like that.
Um, so you are tuning in live. Do not adjust your sets. The virtual sports bar is now open. This is 94 Feet of Light basketball for the people, by the people. We gave it an extra week to breathe on this show, and that was probably for a good reason because a whole lot has been going on. So listen, we're gonna tackle all things. We're gonna talk about the playoffs. We're gonna talk about the end of an era. We're gonna talk about some of the rumblings going on in Miami and LA and all the things. So before we get started, man, happy belated birthday and a congratulations to the father of a college graduate, my main man, Trav. Trav, what's happening?
Man, everything good, man. Just enjoying the blessings that come along this way, man. Birthday,
Absolutely.
son, getting out of college, getting a degree. Man, like I've been saying, man, I got one down and two more to go. So, man, just happy, man. Just like I always say, man, I'm just happy to be here, man.
And to my right, we got my man Jay Ham. Ham, before we even get started, man, plug to the people where they can find you on Fridays down there in Memphis.
I was just thinking about that earlier too. We are approaching like 2 year mark. We'll be having a regular Friday segment to talk about NBA or just basketball shit on live radio, live terrestrial radio. Yeah, right here at Memphis, 98.5 FM, Sports 56 AM, AM 560. One of the older, maybe the real OG sports station in the town. You know what I'm saying? But cool spot, my man Johnny Radio. Shout out to Johnny, that's the OG. He put me on, you know what I'm saying, need to guess. Wouldn't have got that opportunity if it wasn't for our other homie Ashley Same. Shout out to Ashley Same over at Bluff City Media. He's doing this thing. Check out his show. He on YouTube. Subscribe to Bluff City Media on YouTube. He got 2 days. He got Wednesday and Friday. And no, you can check him out. He got good guests. I think he had Brevin Knight on a couple times, a couple other cats, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the plugs around town. But I get down with those dudes, man. We can talk the NBA shit and all that. It's fun, man. I look forward to it on Friday. 11:30, 38.5 FM. We can drop links in the whole deal. I promote my stuff every week, though, so it works out. I just follow how that, you know.
Let's get to it. So we are watching Cleveland and Boston. As we watch, we say it's a virtual sports bar. We mean it. So, fellas, let's kind of start with Boston, who I feel like, especially now with Milwaukee kind of being dispatched, I think now they're kind of going under the radar if it's possible to go under the radar as a number one seed. Milwaukee's out. Miami, they eliminated Miami. We know there's some turmoil going on in Miami. The Knicks have kind of become the story in the East. Boston Ham kind of just under the radar right now.
It's kind of expected because they've become the perennial. This group has become like the perennial contender. We watch them, you know, say get beat early, then just kind of progress through, push through, make the finals, then hit the wall again, then come back have a year like this year after they regroup personnel wise. You know, what I'm saying breeze through the Miami deal. Now they got their hands full with Cleveland, but I think they'll get through it no less than six. You know, but probably five with this one. I'll get Cleveland at least a game out of it.
Now, Boston beat Miami in round one. And I think this sets up my man Trav. So earlier the week in Miami, Pat Riley has some real interesting things to say regarding his two best players, honestly. Tyler Hero and Jimmy Butler. And I know the Tyler Hero one was not as people made the Tyler Hero comments out more than what it was. He really just said, he did say Tyler Hero was fragile, but he did say, hey, he's got to change some things with his nutrition, his diet to be better prepared. But the story was what he said regarding Jimmy Butler. And I think there's no better person to discuss this than president of the Jimmy Butler fan club. I say that in quotation marks. Trav, what is this sort of the beginning of the end of Jimmy in Miami, you think?
I don't think it's the beginning of the end. It's just the fact that you have a GM that's actually being a GM at this point. And you have players that think that they can do whatever they want at this point. You're still a representative of that team. So in certain ways, you have to carry yourself as one. Jimmy Butler said all that, and you didn't play. You did not play. So you can't say what you're going to do. You ain't have nothing to do with it. It's over with. Welcome to Cancun with the rest of us. At the end of the day, it's not the end of Jimmy Butler because they actually need him. I think I was hearing something and seeing something that they're trying to resign him, but they need him in order to advance. But at the same time, we all know Pat Riley on this screen. We all know, now I've seen the actions that Pat Riley will do. He done got chased out of his own gym by one of the biggest human beings ever. But yet he done cursed out one of his best all-time superstars to ever play for him and made him play better. So hopefully the comments that he made will make them play better next year.
I think what is a little peeking too is that, Pat Riley, he have not won a title since in 11 years. Now, while that may seem like, man, that's not that long ago. If you're somebody like Pat Riley, that's a long time ago.
It's a little minute.
And, Pat is older. Pat is closer to 80 than he is 70. Mm-hmm. So Pat, like, man, I ain't got much time. Knock on wood. I think that what it does signal, if Jimmy Butler's not traded, I think they will do something. I think if you look at them, you look what's happening across the league. We talk about this era. You can't be slow and you can't be unathletic and slow in this league no more.
Right.
And if you watch Miami, for all the grit and the fight and all that's great, but they are a slow, unathletic team, and that's with Jimmy. That's with Hero playing. They have to find some length. They got to find some quickness. Otherwise, you just consistently gonna be in the play-in. And I think for Pat is aware, man, that your time can close on you. So we're gonna see. I think something will happen in Miami. Whether it's Jimmy gone or Hero gone, they got to do something. They can't bring that same team back again and playing.
I got a public service announcement to make real quick. Let me look at y'all real good. Real good. Y'all really do y'all get paid to defend people that have a comment that's besides what yours really is about a player or players that are still on the same level, haven't increased, haven't decreased. They just been even killed the whole time. Stop it. Stop it. Because it's getting downright ridiculous, man. Y'all not even getting paid to even defend these. Why y'all get mad at me? Or why y'all get mad at him or Big Shot or anybody else that makes a comment about it? You can have your opinion, but man, y'all get upset chill out on that, man. Y'all know who I'm talking about, man. When y'all see it, y'all know who I'm talking about.
You know, Jimmy got his fans, and in our group, there are people who really dig what Jimmy got, and I can see why. But at the end of the day, as we have said on this show for about 5-6 years, Jimmy's not the best player on a title winner.
In the words of the late great Dennis Green, you are what we thought you
Well, I look at it, I kind of twisted it up from a positive standpoint. I'm a man of positivity these days. I guess it's the hippie in me. I don't know what the fuck it is. But I look at it as like he's not the best on a title winner, but if he can get you to the show,
Well, he can
that's
get
a
you there.
bonus. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a bonus. You know what I'm saying? So, and we've seen him be that bonus and cash in at that bonus twice. I
Yep.
mean, just because we count the bubble. 'Cause, you know, we are there's some people that don't count the bubble. I really don't even discuss that with them. You
Question
know,
on
because I look at it from a whole different standpoint. Go ahead, Trey.
question on that positive invoice that you just put in. If you take
Well,
a dehydrated horse to the water and he don't drink, what happens?
of course. I mean, do we have to explain?
He dies.
That's
This
what
is
I'm saying. We have to explain.
this is what's been happening. We are giving credit to things that are making it to the water, but dies. We
Well,
giving. I ain't with that. I'm a winner.
this
I'm a
is
winner.
fair.
You know, but
This is fair.
I think what it is, and then we're gonna get to next. I think here's what it is with Jimmy. There's nothing wrong with not being the best player on a title. There's thousands of players who were not the best players. Where I think Jimmy gets into trouble with Trav and me to a certain extent is I think Jimmy sometimes carries himself as if he is. And I think it's been proven now that he is not, which is perfectly fine. But while Jimmy has said himself, I'm a role player, etc., he kind of gives off this I am
one of them.
one of them.
Well,
I can see why he gets on Trav nerves, to be honest. I
I,
can kind of
I,
see
I
it.
lie. I lie in the middle with this because I see what y'all looking at, but I understand how he gets over with the people with this.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not so much as a sympathetic role; it's more of a we root for him because we know he got that dog in him. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It ain't the
he's the
sympathy; it's just the fact that they want to see that get over the hump, and he
Jimmy.
can't. If he don't carry himself that way, they don't make those runs. That's just
Jimmy Jimmy is first team all he got that dog in.
yeah. It's like you
First team.
can't ever question that part. And but you know what he is? He's an infused version of Pat Bell from a basketball standpoint.
Yeah.
He's is
Now,
much more calm, but it's that elevated sense of who he really is. He raises that sense mentally of who he is to become this, and he's cashed in on it a couple times. So he tap to the brother. That's all I can say. Buy him a Michelob, or let him buy you a Michelob. He got plugs.
now, who I am now? I talked about Jimmy not being the best player on the title. There is a guy though. I think I'm willing to change my mind on, and that he can be the best player on the title contender. Matthew Gordon, I hope you listening. I think Jalen, while he doesn't, and Ham is a wrestling guy, he could tell you more about this. People who don't look like they should be the world champion. Jalen Brunson don't look like it. He don't look the part. But I tell you what, I think he got it.
He got it.
I think he got it. I think if they can now, obviously the playoffs are still going on. The Knicks right now, as we taping this, they 1-0 up on the Pacers. They grinded through the series with Philadelphia. If I were the Knicks, Jalen is the one that needs the second star. I think Jalen, Trav, and Ham is good enough to be the best player on the title. And I said early in the year, I didn't think he was. But having watched him for about the last 2 weeks, I think his game is a number one, is a 1A option type game. Unlike somebody like a Jimmy, I think he's somebody who will stay healthy because his game is not it's not as physically straining. He's a physical player, but he's not like, he doesn't take the punishment that a lot of people other take. I think Jalen is a 1A. So Matthew Gordon, I know you think we always got some smart to say about the Knicks and smart to say about Jalen Brunson. I think this is a 1A player.
And right now, they're a contender. I mean, it just is what it is.
Right there.
They're a contender to get to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from the way the basketball situation laid out, they ended up being the second best record in the East. They're gonna have home court throughout. That's what you wanted to boss, and which is probably gonna be the plan. And anything else that they'll end up having to go through. That series, that I-95 East Coast, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
New England, New York battle, which I think everybody kind of fits perfectly for the story, especially for both organizations, because I don't think they've ever met like in a conference final except like
I don't think they've ever met. I don't think they've ever met the conference. If it was, it was like back in the black and white TV era. It was back then.
Anything that predates us.
For sure.
First round when Chuck Person and Larry Bird went in it. First round, second round, something like that.
First round, yeah. And then when Melo and them beat Boston, that was the first round series. The year because they played Indiana in the second round. That's when Indiana played Miami.
Mm-hmm.
That old deal. But other than that, I like where we at league wise in terms of the reshaping and where it's going. Because it's like we kind of getting the old dogs out the way, but the new storylines is like, yo, dog, y'all want to see this shit. Like Minnesota's become must see TV in that sense. And soon at some point, I think the series you're gonna start seeing some people like looking at Oklahoma City like, hey, now we might need to start watching these motherfuckers too. Just win or lose with them because just the matchup that they're gonna get is gonna be entertaining basketball. So it's like, while we don't necessarily, the general casual public might not know these cats, it's time to get to know them. They finna let you get to know them.
I think to me, Ham, that's the story. This is a new time. Mm-hmm. And you look at LeBron, KD, Curry, Harden, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, like all of the guys that are like in that 32 and up club,
that dominated the last decade or so around this time. They at home
Yeah.
celebrate Mother's Day.
That
They got
03
they got
to
time for
08
Mother's Day. They
class.
got time to cook and get
Yeah,
the
they
yard work straight and side paddling on the house and all that type of time for shit now, you know.
Hey, that 03 to like 07, 08 class.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
it like I think I seen Big Shot you say something like anything about that was pre lockout
Yeah, anybody
draft
drafted before the
class.
lockout, yeah.
Stand about, Chief. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
right around, I would even say the first couple years, even 12, 13 too. The time pretty much expiring
If
on these
you
dudes like
listen, it's a new era, it's a new day. And you watch, and we go over to the West. You know, like Kyrie in the West right now, Kyrie is the old head.
you know, yeah, right.
Kyrie's the old head in the West. Of who's left.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you talk Luca, Shea, and Cat. Cat been in the league 10 years, but Cat is still like 27, 28.
Yep.
Right.
This is a new
That's the
time.
fun part about it now. Your 10-year debts are still under 30.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's like a regular in the league now. Your 10-year bets are under 30-year-olds.
So
Right.
let's talk about Minnesota. The old school saying was the series don't start till the home team win. I mean, until the road team wins the game, then the series starts. Well, Minnesota, Denver, the road team, the one too.
You know what this remind me of?
Yeah, go ahead.
2011 is almost looking like the same to be repeated. The team that won the year and swept on Mother's Day the following year.
Hey, Cam, your mic broke up a little bit. Can you repeat that?
When the team that won the year before, in 2011, the team that won the year before, the Lakers, they got swept the following year on Mother's Day.
Sure
Game
did.
4 is in Minnesota on Mother's Day.
That was Dallas. Dallas swept them. Dallas
Yeah.
swept them. Sure
You know what I'm
did.
saying? That right, because Andrew Madden hit JJ Barrett with one of the Nikita Koloff Russian circles. Got suspended to start the next year. The whole thing was messed up. And Dallas went on to win the title. The whole thing. But this Minnesota deal, like they 6-0, first of all, to start this playoff run. And they completely overwhelmed people.
Yeah.
And we saw it coming, but I don't think we saw it like
I
coming
like
at
this.
like like hey man, this is
We
wild.
saw
They
it.
is
We
balling
saw
on
it.
these folks.
We saw that from an offensive perspective. They put the league, every team in the playoffs, they put them on notice. This is
Ass.
how we play. They are
Right.
young, they're athletic, they have length, and their IQ is very high on the defensive principles of what they want to get executed against Denver. When I seen Jamal Murray come out there screen and roll, and they crowded him, and Nas Reed put his hand right there for that pocket pass and stole it, that right there told me they own it. They own to something. Not only that, they trapped this man, had him trapped for 7 seconds before he got off the ball. And they want Aaron Gordon to beat them from the outside.
What they also do is they're not going to let you just get a free run into your offense.
No, sir. No, sir.
You gonna need you got what 8 seconds to get it across the timeline. You gonna need 6 of that 8 to get it across.
Wet team.
And they are perfectly constructed for how they need to play, for how they like to play. For the personnel that they got, they are perfectly constructed. They got a killer who gets it. First of all, I made a claim pretty much throughout the year that Suave House Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was the best two-way perimeter player in the game. Most complete.
Mm-hmm.
homie from Atlanta that's up in Lake Minnetonka, hanging out around Lake Minnetonka, #5.
Hey,
He might have a problem with it. He for real might have a problem with it. Which I have no problem with them sharing that because I'm a dude that celebrates the game and promotes the game. We need to see more of that shit anyway. Got two greats who are about to, in my opinion, can be faces of the league. I don't necessarily feel like just like with the GOAT thing, you got to have this one face. It could be a group of dudes that make this thing up. You know what I'm saying? Because they represent an era. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you got John, you got a couple Halliburton, you got a few cats. You know what I'm saying? That we gonna have a fun time watching this over this next, handful of years. It's like when we get to 2034, we'll be talking about the next group, and these motherfuckers is going their way out.
Yeah. And you talk about that Minnesota construction. They got Gobert, Towns. So they got the two bigs. They could do that. But what they got is they get the guys they got the length on the perimeter. You talk about McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander Walker, Nas Reed, and they just can overwhelm you with the length on the perimeter because they don't have to double anything. Everybody can play them.
You check Mike Conley's resume. He's been on the offensive team quite a few times in his resume.
dude, I was just about to say,
Yeah.
Mike Conley is really a freak. They gave him this name a while back. He's a real conductor.
Yeah.
He's a real conductor. He don't turn over that ball. The little floaters he's going to hit. His mid-range he's going to hit. His open shots he's going to hit. He's going to hold himself accountable on the defensive end. And he's the shortest player that they have that spearhead on their defensive end.
Yeah. He slots in perfectly. I don't need Mike to play 35 minutes a night. Mm-hmm. I don't need Mike to take 15 shots a night. I need 28 minutes. You're going to get about 8 shots. Knock down 4 to 8. Knock down 4 or 5 open jumpers. Don't turn the ball over. Get us in our stuff. That's all I need you to do.
And then when you get to this point of the year, he's going to be ready to play 40.
Yeah.
He's ready to go anyway. It's even more of a bonus. He's going to give you a good 40. His floor game going to be solid. Even if he ain't scoring that night, he going to still be like Trav said. He going to conduct. He going to be steady. He going to be not just on the offensive end, on the defensive end too. He be communicating, talking. Like I said, he's been a perennial All-NBA defender throughout his 17-year career now.
You would not find him as a liability on his floor.
Not at all.
And so what Denver's going to have to do, and Kenny Smith said this on pregame. He said, in order to get back in the series, somebody else got to be able to get there. So somebody, Michael Porter Jr. has to be a guy. He can't just do the catch and shoot thing. He got to create offense. Because what you see what Minnesota has said with Jokic, they said, we got Rudy. Jokic will get his points regardless. But here's what's going to happen. Rudy going to play him straight up without fouling. And because Rudy can play him straight up without fouling, guess what you can't do? We'll never double.
We don't double.
We'll never double. Jokic, you want to shoot that thing 30 times? Go ahead. Go ahead. We will live with you scoring 40. Go ahead, Jay.
You said 27, he gonna have company with him the whole ride. And we ain't just talking about one person. 27 got escorts.
Yep.
And here's the thing about Denver and their offense going against their defense right now. You have 16 seconds to get that going, to get it back.
Shut up.
You shut up. They've taken the first 7, you get in the cross half court.
Hey, we might talk in the next week or two right here on this same show, on the next program. I might be dead wrong, but these motherfuckers overwhelmed, dog.
Yeah,
They are
it's
completely, they overwhelmed, dog. This gonna be bro. This Swiffer City right here.
yeah. I'm surprised. I'll play this. I'm not surprised Minnesota won the first two. I was surprised with how convincing
Wow.
they were.
Right.
As good as they were in game, as good as a game as game one was, Minnesota was never really out of that game was never really out of control. He's like, oh man, here it comes.
Mhm.
Minnesota was in the control of that game. And then game two was just game two was the 2 seed versus 15 in the Midwest region. Just
Uh,
when we come back in 2 weeks, I think we gonna have we gonna know at least two teams playing for the conference championship when we come back.
Yeah,
We gonna know two for sure.
I think it is. I think we on
You
the
know.
road to know.
You know, we have our joke about playing past Mother's Day. Huh?
motherfucker might have Mother's Day off.
Listen,
There
we
might be a
had
rest day for so.
we almost had no games on Cinco de Mayo. We might be short Mother's Day too.
Well, no, I mean, cause they at least gonna be. Those are game 3, game 4 that we
Yeah,
get. So
they
they
gonna
gonna
have to
take care
stretch
of
it
us.
out. They gonna have to
They're gonna
stretch it
take
out.
care of us on Mother's Day. We might not have games. It's actually schedule wise, it's gonna max itself and work itself up to that anyway. But between that and Memorial Day is might where we might get a little break.
Yeah, you might be short Memorial Day. Make Memphis in May. Have you some plans Memorial Day weekend, cuz.
Oh
We
yeah,
might be short. Well, look, we're gonna get out of here. 94 Feet of Life basketball for the people, by the people. 94 Feet of Life is a Facebook group. 94 Feet of Life is a YouTube. Subscribe, notifications on. Ham in the building, Trav in the building. Shout out Worldwide Les. Shout out MJ. Shout out Germ. We about to get into these games on we about to close the public space. Watch these games in the exclusivity